Hey all, you might remember in our last video we went over our inventory system, where we were. We went over the spreadsheets, we went over how we managed that inventory. We showed our transition into Vendoo and that. What I thought is today I would show you what it actually looks like today and how we're housing all that inventory. You'll see behind me the boxes, and they all have they're all labeled. We have alphanumeric labels on them. Behind me, you'll see then the vertical flat lay that we use. So this is what we call our studio. And in this room is where we process all of our inventory. It's received, it's photographed, and it's packaged, and then placed into these bins. You'll also see some clothing in the background there on racks. We have several racks down here. And then behind me is the inventory. Now those boxes, those 4 boxes that you see there, that's the A503. We looked at that last video. Those have a lot, the inventory in them has changed considerably, and we'll look at that. We have more, well, let's figure this thing out. Sorry about all the, if I've made you dizzy yet. But then we have more boxes there. I'm going to flip you around. And here again is the inventory. And then back here we have more racks of clothing. This has yet to be processed. And then again, we do have a considerable amount of inventory back here that we've yet to process. Let's see. Oh, I did want to mention that what we use is a distributed sequential inventory system. So you can see that we have 603s, a row then of 703s, 803s, and we go into actually 903s around the corner. Up here is the 503s. So when an item sells, I know in which location, which group of shelves we can actually find it on. And if it's 803s, 903s, I know that those are around the corner. I know that 100s and 200 series are in the garage. So because we can't have everything in sequential order, let me flip you around here. Because we can't put everything in shelves and in line, and be able to go down those in rows and in sequential order, this works actually better for us because we do have, again, we have inventory in different areas of the house. Anyway, I wanted to show you what this looked like in person, in real life. And then I think I'll take you upstairs and we'll actually see how we're managing it digitally or virtually in the computer. So for now, I'll shut you off here. Hey, we're back in the office and thought we'd take a look at the spreadsheets and take a look at Vendoo and how we're managing our inventory now. We took a tour of the downstairs, the studio, where our product, our inventory is, how that is stored and where it's stored. So let's go ahead and start the timer. I'm not going to let you get off that easy. We're not going to include the tour. So let's start that. And then let's start by revisiting what we looked at our last video. We used to, in the beginning, track our inventory on spreadsheets. So we had our SKUs. We had a brief description or title of what those were. We also went into how, the folder system that we used. We have since migrated from that. We began using Vendoo to mostly to cross list, but then found that its inventory management capabilities were pretty good as well. So these days it's strictly Vendoo. items are, or our inventory is received downstairs. I showed you a bit of that. We then process those, clean those, inspect them, photograph them. Drafts are created in Vendoo themselves. So our SKUs then, if you look at this, has the box ID, and we saw that downstairs in the tour. And then every package within the box or the bin is sequentially lettered or given a sequential ID. In a lot of cases, well, like in the beginning we did AA, so it would be A503 AA. Good thing that's sold, but so you get the idea. And then as we move on, as time goes on, we then we will audit those bins. So we go back through them, make sure what we have in the bin is in fact listed online, and what's online is in fact in the bin, so that we do that audit and make sure that we have, everything is that we've not made a mistake anywhere. Then as we do that, we'll refill the boxes. So you audit the boxes, then we refill the boxes with new product, and that new product then would become in the B range. So for instance, well, geez, okay, this is a bra. So we would go through all the AA through AZ. Then the next time around that we visit that box, it's BA through BZ. And then the third time around, you guessed it, folks, we would then do CA. So if we ever need to know what should be in the box, we could just pull up the box ID, in this case A503, and we have 17 active. So our boxes hold about 25, so we have, we've sold a few out of there. But then this tells us what should be in that box and which platforms it's on. So that's how we manage that. And then, of course, as things sell, they get removed from eBay, from all of the platforms using Vendoo. Again, this has worked really well for us. There's no need to duplicate these efforts on a spreadsheet or anywhere else. Everything is completely managed through Vendoo. We do occasionally, we will do the delist, relist. Vendoo gives us that ability. We can delist, it'll delist from everything, and then we can go through and relist on every platform and then have those items there. So this is working really well for us. I don't see us running out of numbers. I think when we say, for instance, get to package ZZ, then we'll loop back around and the box then becomes A504, for instance. Perhaps we'll relabel the box as A500, and then we know that 500 through 599 would be, everything would be in that box, depending on the age of that item. As I said, we are up to the 903s, and again it quickly pulls that up. We have 11 in that box. Time to revisit that box, audit it, and perhaps fill it back up. So there is no need using this system to condense or consolidate boxes. We simply make the cycle or the loop back around, audit the box, refill the box, and then we have those sequential SKUs. I think that pretty much covers it. I know that that pretty much covers our inventory system. If there's any additional questions or maybe suggestions you have, we're welcome to considering those. Folks, I'm going to take the last few minutes of this time and plug some other series, some other videos that I do. One is Know Your Numbers. That one, in Know Your Numbers, we will look at the previous week. We will look at how we did. What was our gross sales? What was our net? What did we pay for in promotions? And just go over all those numbers, and we'll compare that to the previous week. How did we do in comparison to the previous week? We will also look at the month. How did we do for the month as a whole? What is our average sales per day? We'll compare that to the last month or the previous month. We then also will compare that to last year. We've been tracking a lot of these numbers. Have tracked from last year, so it's interesting to see those. The other series that I do on Thursdays, no, I'm sorry, that would be on Tuesdays, would be You Sold What? And that we go over in detail the highest sale or the best sale and the worst sale of the week. Go into the profit margin, look at title structures and details and item specifics, and perhaps explore reasons as to why something didn't perform as well as we thought. So if you're interested in that sort of content, please look for those. Hey folks, my name is Rich, and I'm really glad that you stopped by again, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you very much.